Hello, hello. Hope you guys are doing fantastic today. So another update on the Holy Smite Paladin. I've been making more improvements, and let's jump right into the showcase. I'm going to talk about what we've improved in the middle of the map. One thing I have to mention: please use the POB that you're going to find in the description because this is like up-to-date POB, right? I've been making improvements since I put this build together before the leak started, and since then I've been making improvements to make the build feel more smooth and stuff. I've seen that some people, like for example, had problems, had some difficulties because they still use determination, which I did mention clearly that is not needed. I found it unnecessary because we have very high mitigation anyway. So this is something, please, that you should keep in mind, that the POB and the updates. That's why they're called updates and progression videos, because we're making improvements, and you get the idea, right? Anyway, what I've improved since the last video, since yesterday. It's unusual for me to upload 2 videos in 2 days. What did we improve? First of all, you might notice that I'm doing much more area, and this is because I swapped to Vaal Smite of Divine Judgment instead of regular Smite. Let's just do this Legion. What are the differences between the regular Smite and Smite of Divine Judgment? The damage, overall damage on Vaal Smite of Divine Judgment is going to be a little bit lower, like about 10%, but the area is much better. It feels way better to clear maps. As you can see, I did make no difference, make no changes whatsoever compared to, what you saw yesterday, except that I switched the skill. I didn't add like any area of effect, nothing like that, right? It literally just swapped the skill, and you can see how much bigger the area is. This is also not the best map to showcase. It works even better on open layouts, because that would really show how big the area is. Actually, the skill, generally speaking, is like insane. The fact that you can clear like this without any investment whatsoever into the skill to make it feel better. Of course, it doesn't have the damage of Vaal Lightning Strike, right? But very good clear. In my opinion, much better than the regular option. Not much better, but it feels much better, right? Feels much better to use. Now we have the boss. I think I ate something really big because I dropped my HP by quite a bit. What? Oh, this is a mere 165 extra physical damage as cold. Oh, that would explain things. But yeah, that's how it looks like. The damage is even higher than yesterday. It is what it is, right? We're scaling, guys. We're ramping. All right. So all the changes. Vaal Smite of Divine Judgment, as I mentioned, way better area at the cost of small amount of damage. But you're going to clear way better with this ability. I think it's worth it. It's up to you. Once again, this is just a guide, so it's up to you. If you, for example, want to use, I don't know, you can make changes to this build, right? For example, you can swap elemental damage with attacks for Awakened Ancestral Call. That would allow you to swap out these things. Then you could swap gloves because you don't need that +1 over here. Vaal Strike skills. You can add Celestial Brace. It's just there's so many different variations. What I do, I think, is good. And I think that Vaal Smite of Divine Judgment is good. If you want to keep on using regular Smite, it's up to you. 100%, fine thing to do. You're going to have a little bit more damage and quite a bit less area. So I think that it's your preference, right? I played with Vaal Smite, the regular Vaal Smite, for a long time, and it was okay. But this one is just so much better when it comes to map clearing. Of course, a little bit worse on bosses. Next upgrade, I started working on my helical rings. These are nothing too insane yet, but for now they will do. I got kind of lucky because I bought both of them for 3 divines yesterday. Today already they're like 9 to 10 divines, but this is not like something that you should worry about really. This is an upgrade that you should think about after you have completed everything. That's number one. Number two, option that you can do for quite cheap. If you have resistances on your other pieces of equipment, you can totally buy like a plus 120, 130 strength ring with like Calandra Reflection or something like that. It's not going to have, you're not going to find anything with like great stats apart from the strength. But if you can find a ring like that and you can deal with the penalties, which sometimes they're completely irrelevant, like for example minus mana, then you can totally buy that, and in some cases it will be even less expensive, way less expensive. In some cases you can get a really good ring with like 120 plus strength for like a 1 divine. So it's totally fine for you to search for these and try to get something nice. Another upgrade that I did, and it's something that I should have done honestly like a long time ago. I didn't mention before in my guides. We didn't really talk about crafting though. Is that it's very easy to craft. This also is true when it comes to rings, by the way. It's very easy to craft a really nice pair of gloves if you buy a base with one mod that you need. For example, I bought this 16% increased attack speed gloves for very, very cheap. I think 40 chaos. And at this point, it's way easier to get all the mods that you want while you spam like Deafening Essence of Rage or whatever essence you want. Like for example, crafting this, which is tier 1 life, tier 2 hybrid, and some cold resistance. I don't know. I spent like 15, like literally 15 essences on that, just because this attack speed that is not easy. T1 attack speed is not super easy to hit. Just like, right off the bat, I don't need to worry about that. At this point, all you care about is just getting some life in there, and you're fine. The same can be done with rings. If you have, it's going to be difficult with helical rings because finding a helical ring with the necessary fracture is not going to be easy. Especially at this point in the league, like we're is this like what, day 5 or something like that? But it's totally fine to get regular rings, like for example amethyst rings, or whatever ring you need, whatever resistance you need, and buying one for very cheap with a fractured, I don't know, T1 life or something like that, and keep on spamming Deafening Essence of Rage. It's going to be much easier to get the mods that you want and desire. You can do the same with belt. Technically you could, but good luck finding like a 15% increased strength implicit belt with like a good fracture at the same time. And this is, by the way, is going to be something I'll be working on next, because this belt can get much better. By much better I mean we can get a lot of life here. So much life. Like we can get 100 life here. So upgrading the belt alone is going to give me like about, I don't know, 300 life, something like that. And more or less that's about it. The POB is going to be, let me think about if I did any changes to support. No, I don't think. I think everything else is the same. I've been trying to experiment a little bit in POB, but for now I think the setup is fine. If I'm going to come up with something, of course I'm going to make another update video. And yeah, the POB, the current POB of this character right here is going to be in the description. Please use this one, not the previous ones from the build guide and stuff like that, because obviously that's the point of the update videos, in order to update, to make the builds better and stuff like that. So the other ones are the first version, and this one is the current version that actually works very, very well. Alright, so that's it. Thank you very much for watching, guys, and see you in the next video.